Good day, welcome. This is your daily med with Lady V. Today we look at St. John chapter 15 and verse 16. We will see where Jesus was encouraging his disciples. He was saying, listen, lest you get weary, lest you get discouraged and want to give up. Let me remind you. So he says to them in St. John 15 and verse 16, Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. So here Jesus is saying in St. John 15 and verse 16, he said it to his disciples and he's saying it to the brethren, to the Christians, the followers, the believers, the same thing. I am the one who have chosen and appointed you. And I have chosen and appointed you to bear fruit. So when he says you are chosen and you are ordained, you must go and bring forth fruit. He says the fruit must produce eternal works. He says you will also get an answer to your prayer. When you pray, you will get results. So as he reminded them also, be careful, you must love one another. So he is the one who has chosen us. He is the one who has caused us or will cause us to go out and be his true disciple. And he says to be fruitful. He has appointed us to the work which he himself has laid before us as his followers. Then we should go out and bear fruit. But as the word fruit is mentioned, let us look at Galatians 5 verse 22 and 23, because we will see the relationship between Galatians 5:22 and 23 and St. John 15 and verse 16. In Galatians 5:22 and 23, he talks about the fruit or the graces of the Christian life. Those graces are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Secondly, in St. John 15:16, he says we should win souls for the Lord. So as Jesus Christ's disciples, this is what he wants of us, both in Galatians 5:22 and 23 and in St. John 15:16. Yes, there is a close link or a connection between the two. It is only as we are manifesting the first kind of fruit that we will ever be able to bring forth the second. He says, and when we do, our fruit should remain. It means here, or we understand that this fruit that he's speaking about in St. John 15:16, yes, it is the salvation of souls. As his disciples chosen and ordained, he wants us to bring forth lasting fruit. Jesus Christ is not interested in the profession of faith in himself, but in genuine faith, cases of salvation. That's what he's interested in. So in this chapter, we have seen where he says, believer is divine. We receive from him. He says we are his disciples. We follow him. We are his friends. We communicate with him. And when we communicate in prayer, our prayer will be what? Effective. In verse 11, he says we will have joy celestial, and we will have fruit perpetual. In our lesson today, it is St. John 15 and verse 16. He goes on to say, and whatsoever you ask. So the secret of effectual service is what? Effectual prayer. Jesus sent forth his disciples with the guarantee that his Father would grant them whatsoever they ask in his name. So we see from the scriptures that a true disciple, one who is genuine and one who is following Christ the way he should, we must be united with the vine as the branch. He says we are chosen of God to do the work. We are ordained of God for the work which he has called us to do. Therefore, he says we must labor to bring forth fruit, lasting fruit. He says we should go to the work and not wait for the work to come to us. He says we should be preservers of the fruit or the soul. We should not destroy them. He says that we should pray prayers that gets results. And he says plainly, just love one another. In another place in the scriptures, he says, when we love one another, people will know that we are his disciples. So in keeping in what God says about us, today I am chosen and I am appointed by Jesus Christ himself to bear fruit. Many times we hear, I am appointed and I am anointed, not only to the preachers, but to every disciple that is truly following Christ. He says, I have chosen you, I have anointed, and I have appointed you to bear lasting fruit, so that the souls of men who are dying in sin will come to know the Lord Jesus Christ. God bless you today as you continue to labor as his disciple, knowing that he has chosen you and appointed you to bear lasting fruit. Thank you again for watching, and may God continue to bless the U.S.